What is your perception of Muslim women?
Very much influenced by religion, and probably not as free as a Western woman would be to basically dress the way she wants and speak the way she wants.
They can have a hard life. You know, sometimes they face quite a lot of difficulties and they are discriminated. But my personal, attitude is I just consider them exactly like me.
I don't really have a perception. I don't know any Muslim women to form an opinion, really.
In the UK, I think that they probably have a lot more freedom than anywhere else in the world. I actually live out in Singapore, so there's a lot of Muslim women there. And I think that there are some times when they do have a lot of freedom, but there's a lot of times in certain countries where they're very repressed. So it really changes on where you are in the world.
I guess quite repressed, or at least that's how it seems in general. Like when you walk around, they're always kind of, I don't really know.
Well, as a judge, how were you perceived as a Muslim woman in the UK to maybe your colleagues and things like that when you first became a Muslim?
When was it really that you became Muslim?
Just before Ramadan last year. I don't at the present time make a big issue of it. I recall that one of the best Christians that I know is a High Court judge in England. He never talked about his Christianity, he just showed it by his way of life. And eventually you would say, what is it about Mark Headley that is so wonderful? And some people, didn't you know he's a very active Christian? I'm not very wonderful, and I'm also very much a learner in Islam, so I think it's important that I keep a relatively low profile, carry on learning.
You have, because your responsibility, you have an entire district. How do you rate the domestic violence? Is there more domestic violence in the Muslim community, or is it consistent with the national average or less?
We don't have statistics, but from all the work I've done, we have no reason to think that it's any greater within the Muslim community than within the dominant community. The difficulty is that there are certain barriers that women have, or men who are suffering this violence, to get over. Matters of racism against them, language difficulties, immigration issues, and matters of izzat, of feeling that they're shaming their family if they come forward, lack of facilities for them. I mean, I was only talking yesterday to a very active Muslim woman in Wales, Shaheen Taj, of how we need to set up a nationwide group of Muslim female counsellors that women can go to, because if women feel that they go forward and the people that they'll speak to don't understand where they're coming from, they're not going to come forward.
And they also, I think, often assume because it's a Muslim woman, she's oppressed because of her being a Muslim woman. People tend to not be able to see it as this is a human problem. They really begin, just because of the mere fact it's a Muslim woman, there's an automatic assumption that it's related to the religion, which is a real problem. We seem to have an inability to really see ourselves.
I didn't want to take my very smart hijab and abaya off when I came back from Saudi Arabia last week. I'd spent a lot of money on it. It was very nice.
Very smart, isn't it?
Very smart.
Some of them are beautiful,
with the sleeves.
Yes.
And also, partly because I didn't want to take it off, but secondly, as an experiment, I kept it all on going through Heathrow and Manchester Airport just to see what the reaction would be to me. And it only took minutes in Manchester Airport for a man to be very rude to me.
Really? What happened?
Which never happened
before.
It's
never happened before.
And people don't realize
Get out of the way, you. He said to me.
My wife, we were at a grocery store, and there was a Mexican girl was doing the thing, and the boy was up on she had the baby up on the thing because she was getting the things, and the girl said in Spanish to the other girl, just knock him over. And my wife just looked at her and she said, I speak Spanish, because my wife's Mexican, but she had a hijab. She just assumed she was Arab, And people have it's ignorance.
Do you know what fascinates me? Sheikh Hans and I both come from Roman Catholic backgrounds, and nuns the world over who wear identical clothes.
To the Kuwaiti women.
Right.
They look like Kuwaiti women.
Right.
Because you know the Kuwaiti women wear the white and with the black over it.
Right.
And regardless of anybody's religion, people have this very
Veneration.
positive view of nuns. If they see nuns in an airport, they'll smile at them. Look, there's some nuns. Isn't this nice? You know.
They feel more comfortable
now,
sometimes.
Psychologically, I want to know the difference.
Yeah.
Why are they not
is
The image, I think
depressed
that's...
or-
But how do you feel about that? Do you think this somehow will start changing this whole image and
Not
this?
at the present time.
No.
Because with the
it's
right, with the Islamophobia,
Yeah,
with the whole
Islamophobia.
terrorist threat, and the communities aren't helping themselves either in that.
Yeah, this
That's
is the real
difficulty.
problem.
Yeah, I dislike this word Islamophobia, but you know, it's true.
Is that
No.
the case in the UK? Is there like a huge Islamophobia?
Huge, huge.
It's growing on me.
Yes.
I didn't like the word before,
Really?
but I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting used to it now.
Well, that's